Now it's time for my brilliant brainchild, the 9th Wave Reboot. It's me, Brian, again. And this is version 1 of the 9th Wave Reboot. So this concept came together kind of last minute. I mean, this literally is the icing on the cake, as people call it. This has happened here in the last month of me using my thoughts and understanding marketing, branding, and how I had a brand that I wanted to get out when I was younger. 9th Wave Artisans. I was being creative, and I thought about some stuff looking at like being younger and seeing like the world wonders. And if you know anything about WWE, Chyna being the 8th world wonder was her brand. I think somewhere in the back of my mind, seeing what her image was growing through media, where it was more than being a wrestler. It was WWE is all about being an entertainment spectrum platform for those who didn't necessarily want to fully be stars. They wanted to be sports stars. They wanted to be action heroes, so to speak, to people. They saw this liveliness of being able to go out there and just entertain in their own way, is how I see it. And now some people got pulled into it for many different ways and reasons, but to go from having, nothing and to have a stage, a platform, to have a voice to be seen through as a brand, as a character or a role, acting a part out, and then getting to step into the light where off of that stage, off of that set, they get to show more about what they're trying to do. I think that's what hit me in the back of the mind, back of the head, was seeing this 8th wonder concept and the marketing behind it. I didn't want to use wonder. I love surfing overall. I've always had an affinity for surfing since I was younger. I hit my first surfboard when I was 15. I didn't know fully what I was doing at that time, but I was able, get up on the whitewash. If you know what any of the languages when it comes to surfing, the whitewash is just the foam, and it's the stuff that's closer to the beach. Now, during that first experience, there's actually like hurricane season coming in when I was out there, and started to see the bigger waves coming, and I was like, ooh, I want to go hit those. But then at the same time, there were so many coming, and I didn't know what I was looking at. I was like, yeah, you're gonna go get just messed up. And then the whole fear of like sharks and stuff being out in the deeper water, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this falling off the board out there with whatever's out there. So I stayed in the shallow waters and I just looked at it. But later on in life, I finally accomplished hitting my first green wave. And I guess everything about what waves mean to me is just this other part of the story, because surf life is something that I've started to infuse into my marketing here in the later days. So now for 9th Wave, Artisans becoming more, and putting together what I have with Mindset Webheads and trying to find a basis for getting people to understand what they can do with Learn and Earn communities. There's 5 modules that are the basis for what's going on. And I was like, well, I need to add more to this. There's still some stuff missing. And I have a concept over there with this 9th Wave something that's been sitting for years, and I didn't really take off with it. And just in my thoughts, that marketing genius came through, and it was like, wait, just add 4 more somethings to this. It doesn't have to be more modules. What can you add to this to make your 9th Wave Artisans idea something new? So then that's where the genius in branding I'm saying came in. It was like, use Reboot. And there's a TV show called Reboot from when I was a kid. It's a 3D CGI graphics series from when CGI really wasn't that big when I was younger. That was amazing to watch as a show. And I guess seeing what the situation is, it's like we're living in Reboot. If anybody has ever seen the show, it's like people can choose to play this game with other people, putting this big block up, and everything becomes a game in reality for everybody inside of that grid or that block. And the whole point is seeing which side's gonna win, and that's where, like, after you win, your side gets control of things until the next game is played, until the next challenges created to take control, because it's like, well, you've had power for so long, we had to regroup, and now we're coming at you. And in this world of war games, business is kind of war when you look at it, and getting out of the madness and seeing what branding is, it's kind of war in the competition and being the best of who you are. There's an internal struggle that goes on top of it. So I can see where the genius comes from, the ninth wave and the reboot, because it was like, I just need 4 more somethings that make sense. So in my head, it was like, all right, well, you have these other key points that you have in all these notebooks that you've been making things out of. Where is what you're looking for? And I circled back to the fact that I'm looking at marketing right now. And I just let that sit on me for all but a few minutes. And it was like, oh, wait, okay, 5 modules, 3 models. And then I was like, well, I need 1 more something. And it was like, well, when you look at those 3 models that you're looking at, there's 1 more model that isn't really a model. It's the path that you've been on. It's this, what this journey is about. It's understanding how to move things to the next place. And it's kind of all encompassing when I look at it, that it's not just me that's seeing in that part of it, where that one thing that stands different has to do with coming from the funnels and moving into the flywheel. If you don't know what that is, HubSpot is a great place to learn. There's many other resources, but HubSpot is the one place I'm going to tell people go. HubSpot inbound marketing certification is free. It takes a couple hours overall to complete. It's absolutely free. It frees you up in life and helps you see more as well. So I'm pointing that out to, promote and market, give some stuff away in life to companies out there that have helped me get there, organizations that have been working hard to do something for free while still being able to earn in what they're doing. And that's what I'm hoping people get from me in everything going on now, what I've been working on and learning in our communities. I've learned from some of the best, as I think. Want to be able to go to those people and show them that, hey, I'm somebody you can potentially partner up with. I just got to get off the ground with the right people to get in their sphere, because you got to show traction to get in sight with people like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not me being bullied. It's not that they're going to run off with my image and do anything with it. They just want to know that I'm on the level of them supporting what's going on if I gauge this the right way. So what you're getting with Ninth Wave Reboot is, like I said, 5 modules, 3 models, 1 path. The 5 modules, I'm not going to break down to you right now. I want you to get involved, and I want you salivating to know what those are. I think that's clever marketing. Is I'm teasing you a bit. I am baiting you a bit by not telling you, but I have 5 modules that are the foundations of growth. They are the flow path of creating a mindset that helps you feel more functional and just able to do what you do. But more so than anything else, it's the formula for change and understanding what you can do at base, starting at 0 out of pocket. I will give away the first step. Yes, I will give away 1 module to you. I won't be greedy because I've already said it before. This is about being able to do business, understanding 0 out of pocket investment wherever possible. Because if you talk to some of the best people in business, they're not trying to spend money, they're trying to make money. If I can exchange time for something that can make me money, I'm most likely going to exchange my time before I go pay money for anything, because there's more return on investing my time, where my time turns into money, as opposed to going and spending a whole bunch of money for advertising, promotions, and whatever else, trying to get people to play the role, especially influencers. If you know anything about what's going on with influencers, that's definitely a game. Talk about this reboot portion of where I told you what the show is about. Influencer world is a game being played heavily. A lot of those people don't necessarily represent the culture and the lifestyle behind what a business is. But because somebody has a wide following, somebody will pay that person some money to talk on camera, because the potential and possibility to get a sale from somebody in their audience, it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed at all. There's no guarantee that because you go pay an influencer, you're going to get any sales out of them. But guess what? If you get this influencer on, you pay them buku's amount of money, you pay them a whole bunch of money, and you're not getting any sales from that person, you just wasted all your time, energy, effort, your resources on getting nada. You're back to start, back to zero, and probably isn't doing well for you because you're now faking the funk for your image to get somewhere, and you let somebody take your money and run with it who doesn't care about you. So now this part where things are where we talk about celebrities and stars that are out here that are going through the ups and downs of their images being used, as opposed to, wait, you're letting some of these influencers run off with everything you worked for, thinking that giving them guest spot in your realm where they don't represent your business at all, and now they've just run off with your money, and then they're not worried about giving the money back to you and your business. They're not worried about your business. They're out doing whatever. And they give two craps about you. They're probably not even stressing about anything at all because they have this huge following that's making the money on this platform, that platform, the other platform. They're monetizing the audience. It's not even a community. Using everybody possible at will because they're attractive, and they can show off some sex appeal, they can show off a certain part of life in the form of jewelry, cars, or the fact that, you know, they hang out with attractive people. Their whole lifestyle steps on people. You don't matter to them. They don't engage you in what they're doing. That's horrible. So now there is this other part of where it's worse than what it is. If you heard what I was saying in the Learn and Earn community building in my Mindset Webheads section of everything, you're now putting yourself in a foothold, and the imposter portion of gets worse. And the part where the anxiety, the stress, and the madness, the burning of bridges, it gets worse because your brand is being represented by somebody that does not care about your brand, and they're just using you. Not only that, they're using people. They're not building community. They're not helping your brand, mission, and vision, but they're running off with your worth. So now, think about that for all these businesses that are out here and how things are starting to change when we look at these funnels where the funnel is getting gunked up. You got where people are trying to get everybody down here to make the sell happen. They want to rush you to the sell point, give you this warm and fuzzy, emotional, short spiel of things. They pull at your emotions more so than anything else in what marketing is. They try to make you feel like they're connected to you as fast as possible, but most of them push you around to get you in a corner and make you feel anxiety. That fear of missing out has become this huge something that has been put out here, and people are basically bullying other people on what's going on. I've seen it for the past 2 years. Not only that, I've seen it most of my life with people bullying me because they think that they're so amazing and attractive and they have it together, where I don't care if you find me attractive, amazing, and whatever. I just want to know if we can get along as people and build a relationship over time. I have very, very, very few people I call friends in life because I see how most people have just used me and my time and my attention. If you heard the story, they said, even down to some parts of family, I'm not ever going to bash them and call them names in public or anything. Professionally speaking, it is what it is. Now, in my personal space, when I have some moments and I'm thinking about who should have been there and where life is, and I see how things are happening in family life, yeah, I might be in my background breath going, yeah, that, you know what? It's just those words that I'm going to keep from right now because I'm respecting the space that I'm in. You'll get my wordy nerds later when I'm out of this situation finally and I get to have my own space, but I'm respecting the home that I'm in and the lifestyle behind it, making sure that it's understood. I was taught to be a professional in life before anything else. I was taught by the business world, by one of the giants in business, AT&T, from a kid. I got to see inside of AT&T in a way that a lot of people didn't. And that's cool to me because my mom made sure I understood, like, take your child to work day means something. That was one of the coolest things ever growing up, was I got to get out of school and go hang out with mom for the day and just see work world and see how much fun they try to make it for us as kids to learn in our sites, seeing business directly. Now, I see why people are like, well, you don't need to go to school to learn business, but yeah, you kind of do, because when you see businesses constantly training their teams, they're constantly learning new techniques for people who have come out of school and now are working for the company. They don't have time to continue to go to school because they're on 40-hour work weeks, 60-hour work weeks. People working the normal weekend, working overtime, trying to take care of family, have careers. The whole idea of a career is how to bring your professional life and your family life together. So take your child to work day. Amazing something that I don't know if that's even happening the same today, because the craziness of what's going on and people stepping on people in business, where company culture has changed completely and you have this crazy turnover rate of what's going on. So you talk about like trying to ride the waves and people who don't know what they're doing out there. You have all these people faking it, like they're surfers in life, basically. I'm going to use this as a metaphor. People out here are trying to act like they're surfers. They know what it means to ride the big one. But when it comes to it, they're nose diving, they're tumbling, and they're wrecking their board, and they're just sucking in nothing but seawater. And it's kind of funny, because why are you doing something that you haven't taken the time to learn the proper technique and what's going on? Why not talk to real surfers to understand what's there? Why not, in today's age, take a moment and just go look online to understand how to catch a green wave? That's how I was able to go catch my first green wave, was before I went back to the beach again, I looked online and took in what some of the experts out here who are surfers, who really know what's going on, tell you about technique, tell you about form and how to get up. And listening to them, realizing the simple point of what the banana is on a board, where you're trying to arch your back off the board to put more weight on the rear so that the nose is up instead of down, helps you go forward. If the nose is down, so it's kind of like flying, right? You can't get into the air with your nose down. You're gonna go nowhere. If you're on the ground, you're not getting anywhere. You gotta get the nose up, right? So think about it like that. And surfing and getting off the ground, trying to take flight, trying to enjoy the ride, you gotta get the nose up. You gotta get the fins up. Isn't a good thing. I don't know why people think fins up is good. I'll put it like that. The fins definitely need to be, the lower portion of everything. But that's a metaphor just to say, it does take technique. It does take learning. It does take going through it. And for the people who keep doing it the wrong way over and over again, who are just eating sin, great madness, I can't even be sorry for them. It's funny to me that they're doing the same old same repeatedly. They're repeating bad behavior. And that's not a good thing. When we talk about simple, repeatable, and scalable, that's not scalable. That's not going anywhere. And I mean, it doesn't even seem like it's simple, because it's painful at the end of the day, sucking in seawater. It's not a simple way to learn how to surf. Why would you repeat it? So that's marketing for you, and how we can take words, we can turn them into brands, and we can see more just from what's around us. We can learn from we don't have to pay to learn per se, but there is a benefit in paying to learn, because as you understand what the education system is, you're doing business more. You're understanding how to brand, how to take your brand and put it around people who are going to help you be more effective. If you pay attention to what's going on in schools, and this is the reason why I point this out, in everything that I'm doing now, because I'm trying to get back to school and what I'm doing getting to the next level. And I understand I've always been drawn to school and what's there. I never wanted to get away from learning. It's just nice to be able to go learn some other ways. It wasn't that I was being taken out of school to stop learning. It was I was being shown what the business world is as a kid. And now growing up and seeing that, I understand being a part of an organization where it's about having that insight, bringing it into doing more, to be able to help take it and feed that information to other people, train other people, and doing more. Overall, we need more educators in life. We need more people that are passionate about information transfer, giving insight to people. That's the beauty of marketing. Marketing is not me trying to sell you anything. It's not me advertising anything. It's not me promoting anything at the end of the day, really. It's me sharing information with you. It's me informing you of something. It's me educating you on what experience has been, whether it's mine or what's going on in the world. When you look at what an economy class is all about, if you see what economics is all about, economics is about teaching us what we've come from in the dark ages of everything, where it was madness and people fighting and quibbling over little stuff, to where we're here today. And it's like, all right, how do we get people to stop fighting about stuff? Well, if we let business run the world and we get past politics, then we learn the truth. Because again, if you've paid attention in education, politics is all about businesses that lobby for somebody to be their face. All politicians are puppets on strings at the end of the day, mostly speaking. They're indebted to those who lobby for them. So I want nothing to do with politics at the end of the day. I'm not going to pay somebody else to be my face. I'm not going to pay for an influencer that's going to run off and do whatever. Sorry, I don't need you. In this world of people being celebrities and stars, that's up to them where they take things and what's going on. Just because I might get more notice in what I'm doing eventually in time doesn't mean that I've ever wanted to be a celebrity. I just enjoy what I'm doing. I love being in front of a camera. I love being able to act and get on a stage. I love making music. I love showing myself through my talents. I'm an artist at the end of the day. I literally love art in a way of doing more. So much so, this past week of having stuff happen to me, I broke a piece of art from my childhood because of the energies thrown at me, of stuff that I had to go through, and I needed to tear apart something. I needed to break something. So I had this bust that I made from art in 7th grade that I got kudos for from my art teacher. I look at where I drew a picture in 7th grade. I don't even know where that is, but he loved that picture to death of me drawing it. I thought it was the worst thing ever. It was just not what I wanted to be. I was trying to draw what was on a magazine cover and bring it to life. He could see the depths of what I was doing as an art instructor, as an art teacher, but for me it was, I didn't like it. And so that bust and the pain and aggression, the madness of what's happened in the last week, and seeing people that have burned bridges with me in some ways, and also just how something hit me really hard that made me have to take a week from work to work out some stuff with some very close people. It's one of those things I can let go of, having broken it, because it was incomplete to me. It wasn't what I wanted to do. I felt rushed in the process, and when I look at it, it did kind of look like me and where I'm at right now in life. I didn't mean to make it look like myself. I was just, creating something in my head for this art class when I was younger that stood out. But there was some pieces of it that I didn't get to do right. The hair I was trying to do a certain way. There were certain just aspects I didn't have enough time to finish the right way. It was incomplete. And so for me to break it, I'm not upset. It gives me a reason to say, wait, I need to get back to that. I love working with clay and being able to form it into something more. And breaking it's okay, because I needed to break the pain in my childhood in some ways. Break the pain of my younger days of going through so much with people, using my image and using my life force for this and that. Breaking that mold, seeing where it looks similar to what's on my surface in some ways. It's not fully me, but it looks similar. I needed to let that go for some of the pain to go away, I guess, because I can look at it and say, but is just a piece of clay at the end of the day. I can redo it much better. I would never go sell that to somebody. It would never mean anything more to me because it's incomplete to me and it doesn't represent me in life. It's what others would embody as more, but for me, what about what the art means to me, and it completes something. I'm not a perfectionist at all. I just didn't get to complete that the way I wanted to, and so maybe it gives me a reason to look at it and say, I need to get back to art as well in life. And it's something you don't really get paid for, and you got to find how to make money to do art. You don't get paid for making art at the start unless you've made amazing art and people are like, hey, we'll pay you a whole bunch of money to make us art. But then I don't want to be stuck as somebody's artist where I'm on their leash and I'm on contract where they rule my life. It's my art, it's my beauty, and it's not just talking about canvases, drawing, painting, or sculpting when we're talking about art. Music is art. Film is art. Marketing is art. Education is art. Using words to create books, stories, poems, tales, or just instructional how-tos of how to succeed. That's art at the end of the day. When it's impactful, it's insightful, it's meaningful, it makes people step back and really take in what's in front of them. So that's the beauty of what I have here with the Ninth Wave Reboot. It's more than just say, hey, here's how I've learned to take the concept of learning on communities and turn it into something, shape it into something. It's me saying, I understand this life so differently than I ever did before, and now I get to help share that with other people in a beautiful, amazing way that expresses me. And I'm not letting anybody take it over. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I've created something that is mine. I'm not being greedy with it. I'm gonna share that with other people because I understand what it means to infuse referral networking, word of mouth, organic growth, and treating people right, and showing people respect, and being professional, and having a motivation in things, and being inspiring, and being this person who, if you really get to know me, I'm truly loving and caring. And so for everybody that's run across me getting in my box, and you gotta listen to this the right way, for everybody who's come at me online trying to make money from me with a horrible approach and not at all concerned about my well-being, and they've put me in a hole in the past 2 years of wasting my time. They try to bully me to get money from me in a hurry. They made no connection. They showed that all they care about is money. All they care about is themselves. No matter what they thought they were saying in words, they show they're about themselves. Somebody called me somebody said to me, you seem like a decent person. I was like, decent? What do you mean by decent? He's like, no man, I don't mean anything negative by it. You seem like a decent person. You seem like you're an all right person. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, for me, the word decent means like just above, bored. Somebody who's all right in life, as that other word being, like, let's use another word for decent. You seem like an all right person, but you don't know me for crap. You're trying to tell me come join your group of who you say is successful people. The image of what you're saying right now isn't even decent enough for me to go another step in saying I want anything to do with what you're doing, because if people that you're talking about are like you, I'm going to lose my wig. I can tell you're superficial. I can tell you're an imposter. I can tell you don't know what you're doing because you didn't approach me the right way with what your pitch was, and now you're just setting yourself up to look more foolish. But I didn't attack the person. I put it in their face to say, what is it that you mean by decent? You might want to reflect on that before you use that word with somebody. Just think about that. If you're going to call somebody decent, think about that. Are you at least presentable? So I'm at least presentable for this person to do, but you know nothing about me to know how much of a giving, caring, amazing person I am to those that I'm close with at heart. The things that I would do for anybody who I consider a friend, and especially for those who are my cherished family. Friend, family, they work hand in hand to me, because here in my family, like, friends, family are one. Those who we call our friends are people that we would let into our household and run rampant like it's their own home. Because we understand being able to go where we're comfortable, and people just let us be. They don't try to control us. They don't tell us what we can and can't have. We're family. Everybody can share. We can put money back in whatever's going on, no matter what. So those who look at their stuff, their material, and they're so greedy about it, this influencer age, it really strikes a nerve with me, especially when these people think that they deserve to be celebrated. When you say the word celebrity, you're supposed to think about celebrated people. And that's why I'm like, I don't care if you see me as a celebrity. I don't care if you celebrate me outside of celebrating together that we love and care for each other. Those are the people that I want to be around. Like everybody around me who I'm super cool with, we're all celebrities to each other. We're all stars. We don't need to be this image to people out there. We see this universe as something amazing to cherish. We see this planet as something amazing to nourish. Now, we're just trying to figure out how to give back and do more for the future, more so than anything else, where hopefully the fighting, the feuding, the anguish, all the games being played disappear and people can focus on what their career paths are and help be something more in life, instead of this mass world of turnover that we're seeing of businesses that aren't doing right by people. They're not decent enough to survive even. Like, if it was decent, you'd just be above board. But what we want is amazing. We want impactful. We want mind-blowing. We want to be overwhelmed with what we're getting at the end of the day on what people are promising. So that's how I'll close this out, is on keeping things simple, repeatable, and scalable. Understand my mindset is you want to over-deliver on premise so that you can overwhelm with what your promise is and what branding is. So basically, your mission and your vision, right? If you look at what your mission and your vision is, you got to turn it around backwards. You want to look at your vision and you want to make sure that you're over-delivering with what your vision is from start. Give, 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 give. Don't think about what you're getting from start. Give. Give it all away. Not the best of the best, but give it away in the sense of what you're trying to do, being you're giving your time to people, you're giving your energy to people, you're learning where you can. Give your time to learning and helping others grow and learning and researching and developing, so that you see interaction and taking your risks, where when you feel like you're falling on your face, you're gonna just stand right back up. It's not that you actually fell down and broke anything. It's just that things didn't go exactly how you expected it in the moment. You fell on your face yourself. You face planted a little bit on what you were trying to do because you were leaning in a little bit too hard on something. You were tipping the board forward. You weren't poised, looking at the direction of trying to take off. But once you understand having that fond direction where you're pouring more into it, you're giving to what it is, you're making it simple, you're making it repeatable. And now, this is where you start to scale up in what your mission is, because this is where you're over-delivering on your promise. You didn't have to try. Or you're also over-delivering on your promise, but you're overwhelming with what your promise is. You didn't have to try to bring your promise to life. You already did it before. People didn't see what you were doing until they see it. They were so caught up in the bells and whistles and everything that was decent, all the shiny stuff, they didn't see what was amazing in what you were doing until they actually received the gift, and they're like, I was overlooking so much in what the meaning of what's going on with doing business is, what marketing is, what outreach is, what it means to connect to other people. That's what I've been working at, with this becoming something with Mindset Webheads being my starting place, and now saying, but it's time to reset this, it's time to reboot this and take it to the next level. And that's the magic of what I get to do now. And I hope that you take this journey to understand what these 5 modules are about, and getting to understand 3 modules in marketing and business, or 3 models in marketing and business that are going to help you understand and break down things over and over again to get out of trying to sell to people and understanding what the flywheel is, where you're constantly getting recurring growth from the people you're surrounded with, the people you're partnered with, your people in life that are your tribe, who you're collaborating with again and again because you love being around them and you want them to succeed more. These three bit pieces that are their own like little cycle when you think about what I'm going to show you with those, because it has to do with phases and cycles and stages, and how like I've taken these three concepts and now they're all working together in this flywheel component of what we have here in order to show you that there's a path to things through what the flywheel is. Say the path is the flywheel, and I have something for what the flywheel is that comes with a lucrative opportunity, having shown me how to get to more, their path to success being something I find to be very amazing, and finding belonging that's going to keep me passionate about everything. How I've taken this and I said, wait, they say, you know, there's a road over here that you're going to get to. And I'm like, well, there's a path that goes beyond what you're doing. I'm trying to get up the summit. I'm trying to get up the mountain. I'm giving you a hint in marketing of where this is going. If you're looking at some of my content, I'm feeding you bits. I don't want to give it all the way right now, but I am giving it to you. I'm giving it to you in bits and pieces. I'm not teasing you. But to hit you over the head with it all at once, you're not going to get it. But like I said, I'm over-delivering now. You don't get it right now, but I'm over-delivering to you right now. And once you get it, hopefully you're going to be overwhelmed with joy, overwhelmed with motivation and inspiration that today is a day you can start making change. Today is a day you can start doing it different. And you don't have to pay money out of pocket for these crazy systems that are out here to do it. I can show you how to start doing things at base with no money, and show you how to turn that into so much more, where it's ultimately about getting past looking at the money at the end of the day. So invest some time first to be able to see where to invest some money, and then get right back to where it's all about investing your time more so than ever worrying about money again. So appreciate you tuning in. I hope you get into one of these spots that are available, because the more traction I get, they're going to be gone, and you're going to be looking for this face to be doing more of this, where you might be able to get in on what I have if you missed out on it.